Welcome in to Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. We have a brand new 2-round mock draft from ESPN's Phil Yates that he put out this week, which includes both the first and second round picks for Seattle. We will show you who Field is projecting the Seahawks take, give you his analysis. We'll react to it coming up in just a bit. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Before we go any further in today's show, folks, we continue with our pre-draft sub-battle between some NFC powerhouse channels here at Chat Sports, and it is very close, folks. This battle going on right now. As you can see, we have a lead, but not by much. Seahawks Today has picked up 1,569 new subscribers. Very nice. 49ers report not too far behind, 1,562. Cowboys report also there at 1,555. If you want to stick it to the whiners and the cowgirls, then we need to do our part to win this sub-battle. If you subscribe, you're going to get daily news and rumors, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day. 2 live shows a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. Breaking news, interactive Q&A mailbags, and more, all right here on your Seahawks offseason headquarters. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV, and we'll get started with today's show. Phil Yates of ESPN, he does a terrific job covering the National Football League. He has a brand new 2-round mock draft for all 32 teams, including Seattle, and we're going to go over each one of his picks and break them down, show you what he had to say and react to it. Let's start at 18th overall, where Field is projecting the Seahawks go with Texas wide receiver Matthew Golden with their first-round pick. And might I add, in this mock draft, Field had some trades involved. So he has Seattle staying at 18 and going receiver with Matthew Golden here. Here is what Field Yates had to say. Following their trade of DK Metcalf and release of Tyler Lockett, the Seahawks have made small strides to retool their receiving room beyond Jackson Smith and Jigba. Cooper Kupp was the headline acquisition, and Marquez Valdez-Scantling will be an occasional deep threat for Sam Darnold. But the room is far from complete. Golden ran the fastest 40-yard dash of any offensive player at the Combine, 4.29, and that speed pops on his tape. He also explodes in and out of his breaks, which helped him tally 987 receiving yards and 9 TD catches in 2024. For those wondering how Seattle could possibly bypass the interior offensive line, with Zabel off the board 1 pick earlier, I'm just not sure the Seahawks would reach for Ohio State's Donovan Jackson or Alabama's Tyler Booker. Now, I've said on this show before, I like Matthew Golden. I really do. I have a second-round grade on Matthew Golden, and I would be more than okay with drafting Matthew Golden in the second round. But as of late, we have seen the mainstream media push this narrative of Seattle drafting a wide receiver in the first round, and there have been more mock drafts featuring Matthew Golden specifically going to Seattle at 18. And the reason why I read into this a bit is because these mock drafts, folks, are not just what Field Yates or Mel Kiper or Matt Miller, what they're feeling teams like Seattle should do. The mock drafts that these guys are doing is also based on the intel that they are receiving from scouts and GMs and insiders on what these teams are likely to do. So I am fearful that this narrative that's being pushed by the drive-by media here about Matthew Golden in Texas actually means that Seattle might be interested in using that 18th overall pick on Matthew Golden. Not great. Not great, my friends. More on Matthew Golden. Played for Texas and Houston. He was the second-team All-Big 12 selection in 2023 with the Cougs. His pro comp is Nate Burleson. And if Seattle gets Nate Burleson out of this, then that would be pretty good. Who knows? Maybe Matthew Golden has a career ahead of him hosting CBS This Morning or something after his football career. Golden, his statistics, you can see he took a big jump up in production this past season with the University of Texas as they went to the SEC championship game in the college football playoff semifinals with 58 catches, 987 yards, and 9 touchdowns. He's also very effective as a return specialist, and we saw a lot of that at Houston in particular. And you look at his numbers, averaged 17 yards reception, only had about 4 drops this past season, 58 out of 83 on his total targets. This past year, Matthew Golden was really good for Texas and a big reason why their offense was so explosive. You go over his scouting report. He's got great long speed and burst. He's a separation creator. He keeps DBs on their heels. You never know what's coming next from Matthew Golden. He's a threat every single time he touches the football. He's got good body control, but the big knock on him, I would say, is there are some strength concerns. He probably needs to add on a bit of muscle here in the NFL to take that next step. So let's ask you, should the Seahawks draft Matthew Golden at 18 overall? You got 2 options here. You can type S for select, P for pass. Get in that comment section. Tell me what you think. We move ahead to 50th overall, as Phil Yates is projecting that Seattle goes with East Carolina cornerback Shavon Revel Jr. Here's more from Phil Yates on the pick. Yes, Seattle is pretty set at cornerback to start the season with Reek Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, and Nehemiah Pritchett atop the depth chart. Drafting Revel is more about depth and planning for the future, though, especially since he's coming off an ACL tear. His speed and man coverage skills will be an asset in time. I think Revel is a solid pick, and had he not been injured, I think he would have definitely been a first-round pick in this April's draft. But here's the problem I have with what Phil Yates is projecting here. 2 selections, first 2 picks, and you didn't take a lineman with either pick. Now, I can somewhat forgive you on not taking a lineman in the first round if you took care of that in the second round. But you didn't do it in either, and you don't have an answer right now to the interior offensive line situation. You haven't added anybody here in free agency. That doesn't help things. It's the offensive line that's holding Seattle back from being a playoff team this upcoming season. I'm not saying there's not a need at wide receiver and corner, but the offensive line's got to be addressed. Shavon Revel, a second-team All-AAC selection in 2023, was also a preseason All-American. A lot of hype about him entering this past season off a strong 2023 campaign. But with the ACL tear, he played in just 3 games. He made the most of the 3 games that he did play this year with 2 interceptions and 4 pass breakups. The year prior, had 14 total pass breakups, along with 1 interception and 54 tackles. And his numbers are really good as well with his coverage stats of what he did in 2023 with a full season on tape. Only allowed 19 completions for 250 yards and 1 touchdown with those 14 pass breakups, the interception, and a QB rating of 61.2. His scouting report, he's got a filled-out frame. He certainly looks the part. He's got great length that he brings to the table, good straight-line speed. He's got the ball skills, the body control. That's not a concern. His pad level does get a bit too high at times. That'll be something that he needs to work on. Low man wins, right? Everybody knows that. What do you think about the idea of drafting Shavon Revel Jr. at 50th overall? Type Y for yes, in for no. Do you like the idea of drafting him? Weigh in, let us know in the comments section. Cooper Kupp jerseys are on sale now at chatsports.com/cup. I am so excited that this guy is here playing for the Seattle Seahawks and that he's making the return to his home state, getting to play for the rival after playing with the LA Rams. It's a terrific story. And what better way to celebrate that story than by rocking his jersey all summer long, folks, and into the football season. Get your Cooper Kupp jerseys now with free shipping available at chatsports.com/cup. We also have other Seahawks merchandise at that same link, including Sam Darnold jerseys. Go see for yourself. Chatsports.com/cup. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. That's chatsports.com/cup to get yours today. All right, let's go over the rest of Field Yates' first-round mock draft so you guys can see who else he had getting selected. Cam Ward goes to the Titans with the number 1 overall pick, quarterback out of Miami. Abdul Carter, the star pass rusher from Penn State, goes to the Cleveland Browns at number 2 overall. Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback from Colorado, he goes to the Giants despite them signing Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Then at 4, Travis Hunter, his teammate, the wide receiver and corner out of Colorado, he goes to the New England Patriots. Mason Graham, defensive tackle from Michigan, ends up with the Jags at 5. 6, Ashton Jeanty goes to the Las Vegas Raiders. We know old Pete loves his running backs. Then Armand Mimbo, the offensive tackle from Mizzou, he's seen his stock rise quite a bit. He goes to the New York Jets at 7. Jalen Walker, the pass rusher from Georgia, goes 8 to the Carolina Panthers. Shamar Stewart goes 9 to the New Orleans Saints. That's a bit surprising for me to see him go that high, the defensive end from Texas A&M. 10, Will Campbell off the board, the offensive tackle/guard out of LSU to the Chicago Bears. Walter Nolan, this one was a bit high for me as well. Defensive tackle from Ole Miss goes all the way to San Francisco with the 11th spot. 12, the Cowboys, they get some receiver help. They go T-Mac, the wideout from Arizona. 13, the Miami Dolphins go with Will Johnson, arguably the best corner in this draft out of Michigan, helped them win a national championship. 14, the Colts, they go tight end with Tyler Warren, one of my favorite players in this draft, and looking to carry on the legacy left behind by Dallas Clark there. 15, edge rusher from Marshall, Mike Green, goes to the Atlanta Falcons. Mike Green, I think he's got a chance to be a superstar in this league. Reminds me a lot of Khalil Mack. 16, the Cardinals, they get one of the guys I wanted. Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle from Texas, the best lineman on paper in the SEC this past season at the college level from Texas, goes to Arizona at 16. 17, Gray Zabel. He's seen his stock rise quite a bit out of North Dakota State. The FCS All-American, a national champion, goes to the Bengals. 18, Matthew Golden. We talked about him earlier. 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They go with Malachi Starks, the safety from Georgia. And then at 20, Hampton, the running back from North Carolina, goes to the Denver Broncos. At 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they go Jackson Dart, the quarterback from Ole Miss. That's 3 quarterbacks selected in the first round. 22, the Chargers go tight end with Colston Loveland out of Michigan. And then at 23, Williams, the edge rusher from Georgia, goes to the Green Bay Packers. Packers, again, passing on skill position talent. Imagine that. Barron, the corner from Texas, he goes to Minnesota at 24. Donovan Jackson, the offensive tackle from The Ohio State, he ends up with the Houston Texans. There are some injury concerns, but he is very talented. Then at 26, the LA Rams, they go with Harrison, the corner from Kentucky. 27, the Baltimore Ravens go with Tennessee edge rusher James Pierce Jr. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's going to be great at the next level. Derek Harmon, another guy I really like, defensive tackle from Oregon. He ends up with the Detroit Lions, get to play alongside Aiden Hutchinson. And then to round out the final 4 picks, you can see the Chiefs aren't making a pick. There's a trade there. The Raiders involved. Nick Imanwari, the safety from South Carolina, goes to the Commanders at 29. Josh Connerly, the offensive tackle from Oregon, he goes to New England at 30. Another trade there with the Bills. Luther Burden, wide receiver from Mizzou, he ends up with the Las Vegas Raiders at 31 with that trade with Kansas City. And then rounding out Field Yates' mock draft of the first round is Jihad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama, at 32 overall. So with that said, my grade, I'm going to go B-. You found 2 good players with Matthew Golden, as well as our guy Shavon Revel Jr. 2 solid players, but you didn't address the offensive line, and I think you reached on Matthew Golden with that pick. So I'll go B- there. How would you grade Field Yates' mock draft? A, B, C, D, or F? Weigh in that comment section and let us know. For more Seahawks coverage, subscribe now to Seattle Seahawks Today for everyday content on your Seattle Seahawks. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.